Do you negotiate book prices at thrift stores? Do you haggle? Do you try to get a lower price per book if you're buying, let's say, 50 books, 100 books? Which actually I don't typically buy that many at a thrift store, but do you ever try to get the prices down? I personally have not done this because I find that most thrift store prices, most, excluding Goodwill and really nobody else, um, I find that most thrift store prices are so low that even if I'm buying, let's say, 30 books, it's going to be more than worth my time and effort. Typically, don't buy 30 books at a dollar, but if there's one place I go to where the prices vary anywhere from 35 cents, 55 cents, 85 cents, sometimes up to $1.50, and I might find 20 books that are in the 35 to 85 cent range. So maybe it averages out to about 50, 60 cents per book. So even if I get 30, 35 of those books, I'm not really trying to spend 10 cents less a book or haggle over it because it's so inexpensive as it is. If you're buying a lot, if you're buying 100, 150 books at a thrift store, which would be impressive, I've never bought that many. Have you ever tried to haggle prices or get the prices a little lower? Maybe if they're, charging $1.50 a book, $2 a book, that would make sense. I have yet to find a thrift store that is charging that high of prices where I could actually buy, so many books, 50, 100 books or more. Usually on a thrift store run, if I get to 50 books, that's a lot. Usually it takes going to a few thrift stores. Just because even if they have a lot of books, they're not always, all of them are that great. You have to literally look through them to find the good ones. If you do bulk buys that from a thrift store, that's different. Maybe you have a deal with a thrift store where you're getting access to books they're getting before they go out on the floor, and they're letting you, cherry pick or possibly just buy all of them for a lower price just so they can make some money and get all of that, get rid of all those books and not have to do so much work. But that's a whole nother video, a whole nother conversation. I'm also not the most comfortable with talking to employees or managers at thrift stores about making deals and whatnot, but it depends. It depends on the person that's working there and if I'm feeling particularly bold or whatnot. But it's probably worth it to try and make some deals here and there. If it seems like it's a place that gets a lot of books, maybe you can say, oh, I buy books frequently. If you get new books, or hold them for me, I can come down and buy them off of you, that sort of thing. But I'm curious, does anyone haggle? Do many of you haggle prices? Not haggle, but just if you're buying a bunch of books, if you're only buying 5 or 10 books, you're not really going to have much ability to say, oh, I want to get these books for less. But if you're buying a lot more, then clearly you're going to be able to probably persuade them to do that. So are any of you doing that? Is it working out? So maybe next time you visit a thrift store and you're getting a lot of books, you might be able to get them for less. Who knows? But it's an idea, it's a thought. So I'm just curious some of your strategies out there and that sort of thing. One time I bought a bunch of CDs, a bunch being over 20, maybe 25 CDs from a thrift store that were $1.50 each, and I tried to get the price lower, but the woman clearly was not going to do it. I think that she wasn't a manager, and she didn't feel, or didn't have the authority to do it, didn't feel comfortable doing it. Probably more the authority, because another woman who was there a few months later seemed like she was willing to lower the price or to cut me a break and that sort of thing if I was buying a lot of stuff. So I tried it with CDs, didn't work out. I felt like if $1.50, it's not too bad, but I was trying to get down to $1, considering I was buying so many. I don't think too many other people were buying as many as I was buying or going to buy. So I gave it a shot, didn't work out. We'll see next time. Now go to the thrift stores and keep booking.